Let's end this video this week with a good close-up look at Thundercloud, standing right in the middle of the player circle, feeding, and taking a look at me up here through the, looking right at me, giving us a great look at his antlers and the size of them. They're pretty impressive. Drop down below that wind chime. We don't need to see wind chimes in the pictures. There's a beautiful look at him right there. He raised his head up, big, wide, beautiful antlers. Gorgeous buck. Quite a few bucks running around together now. The rut is maybe officially over. I'm not sure. There may be some bucks and some does out there that are saying, no, sir, it's not. Because, we're having babies born as late as August now. And I don't know what causes that. Maybe it's just because we have an awful lot of deer on the ranch. And so we should start in late April, go through May, June, July, and then maybe one or two in August. So it happens. But what a beauty there. Made it through another rut. Got to participate in another rut, which is, I believe, every buck's dream. Y'all have a great one out there. Fish lucky. And remember, golly, I sure do love you. In the 30s, temperature-wise, and it's a nice wad of deer out there this morning. Bright, sunshiny day. Big, beautiful buck right there. Looks a lot like Mr. Force, but it's not. Thought I saw TC out there somewhere, too. Oh, yeah, there's TC. Them big old antlers of his. That's a nice, beautiful deer right there. That's a wild deer. Not quite focusing in this morning very good. It's bright out there, but even though it's bright, it's not quite lit up there in the shade. Hunting the squirrel down in there, getting him a little something to eat. The deer all look so big and beautiful this morning. Let's look at them. They're just gorgeous there. Bunch of mamas and babies and two big antler bucks. That guy over there is a beautiful deer. Probably only his second set of antlers. Another deer come walking in from out in the woods right there. Great way to start another morning. I think it's 35 or 36 degrees out there, so it's not freezing. We have freezing weather coming. Weather down in the teens, maybe the 30s for a high. Not starting out. Made it to 64 degrees yesterday. But today, and it was 26 yesterday morning, so that was the coldest it's been. I know a lot of y'all are saying 26, that's a heat wave. And then some of the others says 26, oh my gosh, it's 62 here this morning. Reverse those numbers. That's another great way to start another great day. Yes, it is. And I love it. Little guy right there walking across the front yard. We're not going to get much of a look at him. It's a beautiful 6-point, probably his very first horns. Some other deer out there. I think the other deer are mamas and babies. But beautiful out there in the sunshine this morning. It's a beautiful deer. Beautiful little 6-point. A wild deer, not one that's born in the pens. We have so many wild deer running around, which is so good. We raise them and turn them loose. We don't sell any hunts. We don't sell any deer. Just a recreational deer farming to make the genetics better on the property and to have a good population of deer also. A good population of deer. We get to see a lot of bucks every week. Lots of does, lots of babies. As we watch the year go by and go through all the processes of a whitetail deer, it's kind of redneck heaven. And that's what I are, is a redneck Baptist deacon. So you can make jokes about me, yes you can. And I don't mind at all. Can't make jokes about hardly anybody nowadays. Rednecks you can, Baptists you can, certainly deacons. We're the scourge of a Baptist church a lot of places. Not in our Baptist church. They respect the deacons. Rightfully so. We have great deacons. At least most of them are. As I said, we didn't get much of a look at that little buck, but he come across the yard eating a little bit, and he got out there around those small acorns and just decided he would stop, snack on those a little bit. Those deer have already been to the feeder this morning, so they've had some South Fresh deer food and some rye and Bermuda grass in front, and now eating acorns. They have a balanced diet, which is good, very good. And he's just enjoying a beautiful, cool morning out there. Temperatures in the 30s, a bit calm and beautiful. Look at that lake behind him. The sun shining on that lake. About as pretty as it gets. Look at that. Look at that. Almost heaven, is what I would say. Almost heaven. Other deer scattered throughout the woods. As you look around and see all that, another one right there. Pretty close to qualifying for heaven. No golden streets and no mansions. But a pretty nice country log cabin. Yes, it is. There comes TC coming in. I watched him through the binoculars from clear across the road. He's coming in there to the South Fresh deer food out of the Texas Hunter feeder. Look at there, both sides of that tree. You can see his antlers. He's so wide. Need to look up and see how old he is. He's like the owner of this place here. Definitely the old man on the block. But definitely still. Look at those antlers on both sides of that tree. Is that cool? I guess he heard me talking. This is one of the bedrooms, and I like to come back here and look out this window. I keep this window open all the time. Keep another bedroom window open all the time, looking out through the woods. And just to look at those deer every day is just it's heaven. What can I say? And he's gaining some weight back. You can see it's just so huge. Really amazing to see a deer live that long, especially a buck, and all they go through during the rut, how uncautious they become, just throwing all care to the wind, going after the girls, and that's all they care about. If they die, they die. It's all worth it. That's the way God made them. He's getting a big belly back on him again, gaining weight back. And not chasing the girls anymore. Running around with some guys. The guys are back together and all buddies again. And he is the king of the roost. I sure wish his son Forrest would show back up. We have no proof of any kind whatsoever that he might not still be alive. And there's a deer outside the high fence that we keep seeing that sure looks like Forrest, but we've had these Iowa deer here now for a few years, and so we have great genetics all over the ranch. Huge deer running around everywhere. I believe Forrest will come back home if he's able. If he's breathing and walking, he'll come back home. And may not be, I don't know. But, that TC is really something special. Look at those antlers. What a deer. You're a beauty, big boy. Even though your antlers are kind of going downhill a little bit, they still get big and wide and beautiful. Big old lazy old man. Like your boss. Beautiful young bucks out there. I don't know if you can see them or not. Might have to back up just a little bit. You have to look carefully. Wind's blowing, oh, this wind's blowing 30 some odd miles an hour. Might be $4 back there, I don't know. Here goes. Oh, lots of deer back in there. Oh, look at that big buck. That buck looks like Forrest. Probably not. Look at that buck right there. That's TC there, isn't it? Who is he? That's TC. That's TC. There's probably 7 or 8 deer out there. I think they were all big rack bucks. One of them looked like it could even be Mr. Forrest. I'll back up, but I don't think I can get another look at him. I got a good look at him, especially the one that looked like Forrest. And it did look like Forrest. I just can't find them out there. There's a big buck right there. I mean, a big one. Boy, he looked like it could be Forrest. Sure enough. He's awfully big. Big and wide. I don't know if that could be him or not. That's definitely... Oh, that's not TC, I don't think. I don't think TC hasn't got up that high yet. That deer's as wide as TC. I don't think it's him. Golly. I guess it could be, I don't know. It's a giant deer. Surely that must be TC. I didn't think he had walked up that far, though. I don't see him anywhere else looking around. Maybe that is TC, I don't know. There were several deer there, several bucks. That's a giant. He walks like TC, don't he? That probably is him. There's 2 or 3 others in there close by, but I just can't see them. They just walk behind a tree and they're gone, just like he just did. I'm not walking up the other side, he's walking straight up that hill. There he is coming out the other side. I saw a big giant deer up there besides him, though. Or besides TC, anyway, I'll put it that way. I don't know. As we get home from church, we see that we've had a big limb fall down out of the trees there. You see that limb? It's around, it missed the feeder, looked like, and missed the trash cans, the burn cans. And the feeder just went off, working just fine. And mom and a couple babies come trotting up through the winds. The reason that tree fell is we have 37 mile an hour sustained winds out there right now. 30 degrees, which I don't know what that puts the chill temperature at, but it puts it at brr, brr, brr. It's awful cold out there. Just got home from church, stopped at Sonic. Chris had a burger. I had a cheese coney. Cheese coney works really good on a day like today. And, we just don't, I used to eat those footlongs and that'd be about right. Now you just eat a regular cheese coney and that's about right. Chris doesn't even finish a full hamburger. Of course, I'm the man that tells his wife she needs to gain weight and talk more. I'm sure all you guys are telling your wives that. Honey, you need to gain weight and talk more. Well, that's what I tell Chris every day. So, but anyway, that's two beautiful babies out there. Just absolutely gorgeous. And we'll get that mess cleaned up there at the feeder today. Fortunately, it didn't fall on anything. Chris's car wasn't there. We were at church when it happened. But 37-mile-an-hour sustained wind and gust over 50 miles an hour. Now, I don't know if we've had a gust over 50 down here. We probably have. We've unhooked our automatic gate in the middle gate, not the one at the county road, but the middle one. We unhooked it because the north wind sometimes will break that gate and breaks the gate opener, not the gate, breaks it, so you have to have a brand new gate opener. And even though that they warn him, if they're within 3 years, you get a year warning and by an extra 2 years warning. They warn him, you have to go back to Tractor Supply, and that's a Mighty Mule gate. That's what gate opener is what I use on both of them. And you have to go back to Tractor Supply and get you a new one. And they warn him. I've done it before. They warn him just real good. You tell them the wind broke it, and they warn him. But you have to go to Tractor Supply and swap it in, and it takes about a day to change them out. So that's Red Tag and her beautiful babies out there is what that is. So a gust over 50 miles an hour, we'll probably have quite a few of that happen right there. Limbs and trees fall down. Hopefully none of them falls on any of the vehicles or on the house or anything like that. That one did not. But it is burry cold out there. Green Tag, you are a beautiful girl. Yes, you are. We take a look at Timber out there. And he had a buddy come up that's a year older than he is. And he's got a little bit, about the same size Antlers, but his body's quite a bit bigger, which probably he is not a deer that has got force for a daddy. Those guys were sparring out there when I first saw them, but by the time I pick up the camera and take a little video of them, they quit. But you can see that he is quite a bit larger than Timber. And I believe that is Force's baby right there. It's his first horns. He's going to have some excellent horns. And they were sparring and just having a good time out there. And of course they quit. Naturally, they act like they're going to start back up again. The older deer, he really wants to play because he's bigger, quite a bit larger. There we go. There we go. Now, this is not going to be a very serious fight. The older deer is larger, but the antlers are about the same. He says, are you a girl? The big boy says, no, I'm not a girl. Quit that. He is a big old deer. He just does not have giant antlers, but he's going to have some big antlers, looks like. He is really a good-sized deer. And again, he's wanting to establish his dominance over Timber. I can tell him one thing, if Timber lives to be 4 years old like Forrest, his daddy, we think it's his daddy, we're just assuming that. By the way, guys and girls, it's 17 degrees out there. 17 degrees. So they have to move around a little bit just to stay warm. A pretty nice little battle going on. They're getting more serious. Boys will be boys. And keep in mind the rut's totally over. I think it's totally over. There's probably a little bit of rutting still going on. They have some of those babies that's born in July and even toward the 1st of August. Those are babies those that were bred really, really late. Water turkey over there I would like to shoot, but I don't want to scare those two bucks off because they're enjoying themselves and I'm enjoying watching them. Yes, sir. That was very cool. The bigger buck Just wanting to make sure that he's establishing his dominance. They do that as long as they've got weapons on their head. And even though the rut is over, they still like to play with them. Let's end this video this week with a good close-up look at Thundercloud, standing right in the middle of the player circle, feeding, and taking a look at me up here through the, looking right at me, giving us a great look at his antlers and the size of them. They're pretty impressive. Drop down below that wind chime. We don't need to see wind chimes in the pictures. There's a beautiful look at him right there. He raised his head up, big, wide, beautiful antlers. Gorgeous buck. Quite a few bucks running around together now. The rut is maybe officially over. I'm not sure. There may be some bucks and some does out there that are saying, no, sir, it's not. Because, you know, we're having babies born as late as August now. And I don't know what causes that. Maybe it's just because we have an awful lot of deer on the ranch. And so we should start in late April, go through May, June, July, and then maybe 1 or 2 in August. So it happens. But what a beauty there. Made it through another rut. Got to participate in another rut, which is, I believe, every buck's dream. Y'all have a great one out there. Fish lucky. And remember, golly, I sure do love you.